Yo, what's going on, guys? We are back for day five, day five, and I'm pretty much excited that we're here again. Though I promised that we're going to have it back to back. I'm going to take that into account starting from today. We'll ensure that the structure has been put in place and we could have a daily stream. Whoop, whoop. So, a daily stream might be on the lookout over the next 10 days. So, we could finish up with this series and possibly just start with another series. All right, but I hope everything is going on, guys. All right, so um, today we have a fresh topic, different from um what we've covered from day one to day four. This live stream is going to focus on basically investment, cash flow, and all of these things that kind of feels goals, feels visions, feels your businesses basically. And like I mentioned, I'm just sharing my own personal experience. I'm sharing from what I've studied so far, sharing what I've learned so far. So it might not be the best of the options or best of the recommendations, but a bit of what I know and a bit of some of my experiences. That's what I'm going to be sharing. And yeah, let's get right in and let's learn together. All right. So I hope y'all are doing great. And yeah. So before we move on, I have just a bit of an activity. I believe the last time I shared my link in, and if I said, I think I said, if you're ever on the street of LinkedIn, just kind of visit and just say hi by connecting. I think I saw some connects. I saw some connect, so you could still check the link in the description and just keep connecting with me on LinkedIn. I think on LinkedIn is my most followed platform. That's why I'm kind of hyping it up. We just hit about 11K. Hopefully, we get to 15 soon, and also bring that traffic here down to YouTube. All right. So before we move on, I'd just love to say how are y'all doing? How are you all doing? Whether you're joining in live right now or you're going to be listening to the recording, I hope you're doing good. All right. So before we proceed, I would just love to turn on the Q&A because that's like the most fun part of this series. Getting to getting to see some interesting questions. All right. So I'm just going to turn on the Q&A right now. Ask me anything. Don't forget what this series is about. It's about building beyond limits. It's about the $1 billion idea. Let's grow together. All right. Like I mentioned, this is going to be focused on capital, cash flow, investment, and all of that, and whether we did it now or not, or when we need it, and how to go through it. Also, some of what I'm going to be sharing, I kind of learned some of them from my mentor, Sir Richard Happin, the founder of HomeServe. So these are provable models. So I'm not just reading theories. Someone has proved it. I'm also currently proving it. All right. So we're just going to start all the way from, like I mentioned, the Q&A are live, and I'm too excited to see what y'all have to ask me and all of the interesting things we would have going on in the couple of minutes. All right, great. So, welcome to day five, or should I say series five, or should I say live stream five, family? No, I gave you all a name and day one, legendaries. Yeah, legendaries. So, what's going on, legendaries? And before we talk millions, before we talk cash flow, before we talk VC, venture capital, we're going to do a 10-minute vibe check. And I want you to ask unfiltered questions about me or even about yourself. Share about yourself in the chat. I'm going to give a shout out. Don't forget also to subscribe. It's just right there. Look at the button. But I think I mentioned subscribe for a collab. We could make it happen, even if it's a short. We would make it happen. till we get to 10K. All right, so just hit that like and subscribe button just down there. It's for free. All you just need to do is click on that like button so it reaches more people. It's as simple as that. All right, and you're not paying for it, so just click on it. All right, so I'm just going to be answering some questions. I'm definitely also aware of the generation because a friend of mine, his brother, also kind of watches this, so I'm very aware of the generations involved in this. Gen Z is definitely one of the largest audience. Gen Alpha, I'm super excited that, or should I say, splendiferously excited. They made the same thing, but I'm super excited that Gen Alphas also get to watch these streams. Or if you're millennials or Gen X, I'm also excited that you're in the building to build with also fun Q&As. I'm just going to answer four and then we proceed into what we have for today. All right. I'm pretty much excited for everyone. We just spam up the chat with W's. W's. I think that those are my Gen Zs. W's, W's, W's. All right. So, first question. I'm going to read it out loud. I'm going to read it out loud. I'm going to also answer this authentically. So we feel from all of the hot takes. All right. So Ayomide in 10 years, private jets or high speed rail enthusiasts? Private jet or high speed rail enthusiasts? From 10 years from now, definitely through May Foundation, through the World Health Exhibition Conference, the Africa Sustainability Week, the Global Leadership Summit, I wish above everything that the global impact continues. That's why I think the previous stream were focused on me firing myself. Yeah, I've started doing that. Or should I say I've built that over this year, 2026. I've kind of focused on that. Just getting off the hook of day-to-day jobs and then just assigning it to my C levels. Right now, we have a very structured C levels, even though we're scattered across the world, Luxembourg, the US, the UK. But we're creating a system that each of the C level have ownership of various things. So yeah, I've started firing myself in multiple platforms since the beginning of 2026. Like I mentioned, 2026 kind of opened my eyes to this because we had some major setback in 2025 because I was carrying everything on my head. But this year, nah, we're not doing that. We're going to delegate all of the tasks. So 10 years, definitely I look forward to the global impact continuing, even changing trajectory higher and higher. But I also want peace of mind because yeah, sometimes we get lost in goals, metrics and numbers and numbers and numbers, and no time to rest, no time to refresh. And so yeah, I also want peace of mind. Part of the benefit I'm getting, also getting a free, or should I say, luxury of thinking time, and that's really helped us in innovation, basically, in trying out new things, in bringing out new ideas, in copying what competitors are doing and improving on it. So, creative time, I believe I've been doubling my creative time this year. But if not flying out to close a multi-million dollar or billion-dollar funding round, definitely I'll be off grid. I think I've been doing that over the past months where I've been able to go live. I've just been off grid for a while, just off grid for a while, and they just come online when I think I should, and just go off. So that's the kind of forecast I see. So yeah, definitely, I'm going to balance these three. These three are the major balance. I'm going to balance wealth. I'm going to balance freedom. I'm going to balance impact. So all of these definitely rest on each other's shoulder, and I'll just ensure that I have very solid stack on this. Solid stack on wealth. I hope you know wealth is beyond money. So solid stack on wealth, relationships, access, connections, and all of that. Wealth, yeah, wealth on freedom. I have luxury of time to myself for creative time, and I also have luxury of impact by ensuring I hire my replacement. It's as easy and simple as that. Hire my replacement and just getting things done without me. That's the goal. Just getting things done whether I'm there or not, we've made it happen. All right, because we are shooting for that $1 billion valuation. That's the goal. No other goal. $1 billion valuation is the goal. All right. So yeah, another question. What is one bad spending habit you have unlearned to get to where you are today? All right. All right. Since we're focusing on cash flow, VC, and investments, I would say, to be honest, from looking back, like looking early on now, I don't really spend. I don't really spend too much. I don't really spend too much buying things. But I also had this kind of thought that buying a hand aesthetic gear was investing in the business. But it was just basically just I don't want to say wasting of money, but I would recommend that my early stage me do not burn at the faster rate. Invest back into the business instead of buying high-end aesthetic gear. So just invest back into the business. All right. So any dumb thing I've ever bought. Any dumb thing. What is the dumbest thing you've spent money on thinking to something? Dumbest thing basically to be a tech product that I bought. But I still found it useful. I still found it useful. So I won't say it went to waste. So it didn't go to waste. So I still found it useful. Um, but like I mentioned, instead of once you're making a certain profit, instead of just buying things, invest it back into the business. Invest it back into the business and then start exploring retail and commercial real estate. Yeah, basically those two things are like the most viable things to do with your money. Like on the early stage onset, instead of looking for so just invest back into the business or explore commercial real estate. All right. So another question, please. Gen Z Alpha. All right, all right, all right. I think right now we are looking forward to bringing a Gen Alpha on our team at the May Foundation. She's currently in India. She's doing amazingly well. She got to be part of one of our programs in 2024. And right now, she's building opportunities for young people around the world. I think right now she has close to about 1,000 community members and about 150 ambassadors. Don't worry, if we could make it happen, one of the live stream will bring her up. I think that's been the youngest person that's doing amazingly well, and definitely we're looking forward to bringing her on the team. So we have Gen Alpha. We're looking forward to bringing you more on the team, and yeah, some people have asked me to be has asked me to be to stop saying synergy and start saying let him cook. Let him cook. All right, let us cook. Over the next few minutes, we'll be cooking. All right, we'll be cooking. I'm just going to be sharing, like I mentioned, it's just to test my current. This is also for me, this is also more of like a documentary because I'm going to come back in 5 years. Basically, we're going to be uploading videos and uploading more streams. But in 5 years or 10 years, I'm going to come back to these streams. I was like, so this was what my kind of thinking pattern was. Have I improved? My so yeah, basically so these streams are also kind of helping me see my growth journey. All right, so I could even refer people to come and watch this. That this was how I was thinking then. So they were proof that all right, we were not really doing it well, but we made it and did it exceptionally well. All right. With 18 years ago saw me, would they cry, laugh, or ask for money? I think I answered this question during day 3 or day 2. I mentioned you would be impressed because we are still on the pathway of that greatness. We're still on the pathway of what we envision because it all starts with vision, world and vision. Inspire your world, basically. It all starts with what you're seeing and then you go for it. So basically, I would say you would kind of still support me because we're not there yet, but we're basically pushing to be right there. So honestly, they would probably cry out in pure relief that at least we're on track. We're on track. Definitely, the vision worked. Yeah, right now I think I've mentioned it. Currently, have about 100,000 reach across 110 plus countries. We're looking forward to increase this 100,000 to a million. That's the goal over the next 5 years. Now up to 2030, increasing this reach, even increasing the reach from 110 countries to 197 or thereabouts countries, and increasing these impressions even down to a million. And then from a million, we go for the next goal, 10 million. From 10 million, just like how Jimmy, Mr. Beast, on this platform keeps hitting those milestones, half a billion. Before you know it, it's already a billion subscribers count on his account. So basically, something like that. We are focused on our customer base. All right. I think I pitched to Fear one time, the AI shopping tool by Sophia Kiani and Phoebe Gates. I kind of pitched to them one time, and I kind of reached out to them that I would support in having the first 1 billion customers, or should I say subscribers or users. But yeah, well, hopefully I get to even contribute to those also. But we are building ours simultaneously while also seeking to learn from others. What I even pitched was to learn from what they're currently doing, because right now I think they're doing pretty much impressive stuff. And I also love to learn and keep learning. So the more you build, the more you have to learn. All right. So it's not just by sitting in your what's it called, in your space and just thinking, oh, I'm building. You have to learn, keep learning from others, and the height, or should I say the level at which you're learning, is the level at which you're gonna get things built. So you're gonna get things done. So yeah, basically. All right, so we're just gonna go through two more things and then we'll go right straight into um day five. All right. So like I mentioned, day five strategy is just tested models from my mentor and then the one I'm currently implementing. So you could learn from it, kind of improve on it, go learn from other people, and then just kind of match things up and make it work with your business. All right. Um, so I have questions for you. I've been answering questions. You can even see my voice because I've been working over a couple of hours. I just had to take a break and then get prepared for the stream. But regardless, I also have a question for everyone in the chat. So be honest, chat. Whether you're watching live right now or you're going to listen to the recording, I still want you to type in the comment section your response. So if you woke up today, I think right now for the other part of the world, it's almost morning, but for PDT, I think it's still 8 p.m., 8:09 p.m. So yeah, if we gave you, or should I say, if you, there's no random money, but if you got 100K liquid cash in your account, let's say tomorrow. So, what is the very first thing you're going to do? What is the very first purchase you're going to make with that money? Are you going to invest it, or you're just going to do emotional spending, impulsive buying, and just buy things you have dreamt and wished for? I think I asked one of my friends because I'm preparing for MPhil, and I think I shared with her in my country of origin, which is Nigeria. I shared that my tuition is currently about 100 million. I was kind of pitching to her that, what would you do with about 100 million? She was like, first, I will give my friends, I'll give my mommy. I was like, he must be joking. He must be joking. That 100K, it's someone's monthly earning, and it's nothing. You think it's a very huge amount. You could finish in just an AMG, just an AMG with a Brabus plates is gone. 100K is gone. All right. Um, so definitely, let me also share my insight on that question. Getting the liquid cash because you will put it in a bank is, should I say, risky? Is a risk. Oh, it's a risk. So instead, move it into your investment portfolio, or like I mentioned, invest it back into your business. If not that, invest it into real estate, commercial real estate, um, retail real estate. So any form of, and I think I mentioned during day 2, day 3 that you could also be a real estate, like an investor in the real estate industry by partnership. Like partnership, you could own 0.5% of the property. There are other companies doing such where 100 people can own a particular property, like a commercial property, and then the earnings from those investments are kind of splitted according to your investment and all of that. So it's not until you own the entire building or you own the entire estate. So you could start by partnership and also own things just through partnership. You just have to find the right partners. Right now, we are also partnering with people. So, but if we get to that extent where we're able to, we have our own portfolios, then we could also like include that we are also available to partnerships. All right. Another question: what is the absolute scariest thought you have when you think about managing huge? Um, Scariest thought about managing huge amount of money. Like I just mentioned, I don't really buy things. So basically, I'm just going to basically invest it back into the business or, like I mentioned, investment portfolio or real estate. So I secure it. I don't just keep it in bank. I don't keep money in bank at all. So that, so yeah, and the bridge line. Finally, here's the truth. Yeah, I think I also need to share this. Whether it's 100k USD or a million or 5 million or 50 million or 500 million, money doesn't solve poor capacity. So the person handling the money would, there's going to be a reflection of your money knowledge on whatever funds that comes through your desk or that pass through you, basically. So if you have poor capacity of financial literacy, it's going to reflect in your fund. So beyond this stream, beyond what you've been learning, let's keep learning. Like I mentioned, I think I was meant to share with my mentees a few days ago during our weekly check-ins that the way to build more is to learn more. I think I also shared that a few minutes ago. So if you want to keep growing with your money, having this huge breakthrough, just keep learning, just keep upgrading your financial literacy, and then just kind of translate into your money. So investment, because that's what we're going to be talking about soon, VC, venture capital, cash flow, and all of this. So investment in general multiplies who you already are. So if you're a big spender, investment just helps you buy more big things that have no value. If you're a big bootstrapping person, get things done, investment will help you get more things done. All right, so that brings us into what day 5 is about. It's about capital, cash flow, securing flexible growth, funding. Definitely, there are a lot of VCs out there right now, a lot of VCs, and I think I'm also looking forward to exploring that. But I also need to learn how to get involved in the VC academy or in the VC space because that's another way to have like a very solid, should I say, investment portfolio aside real estate and then your business. Venture capital is also one huge thing that billionaires kind of foresee, or should I say, get engaged in. Venture capital is very massive, where you could have like 100 companies on your portfolio. You could not boastfully, but like you should, you could, let's say, um, confidently. I think that's the word. You could confidently say, "Yes, I have my investment across this," and just list out all of your investment portfolio, and there are over 150 companies, like working established companies. That's like the big flex. All right, so bootstrapping, control and agility, and then venture capital, which is more of high scale dilution versus non-dilutive flexible capital, which is revenue-based financing and inventory support. So that's one thing we're going to be talking about. And then the two other things is traction over promises, because I'm going to also be sharing some things I learned recently from my mentor, Sir Richard Harpin, on operational hygiene. These are things that investors kind of look out for. Traction over promises, operational hygiene, unit economics, and then founder stewardship. Whether you're really making things like I think I mentioned a few minutes ago, investment multiplies what is already happening. If you're making things work in the business, investment scales it. If you're burning cash, investment increase the cash that is being burnt. That's just the facts. It's just the facts. So before investment, I believe every founder out there, whether you get to watch this or would share the knowledge for those watching, is to test the model, prove the model, test the model, prove the model, ensure it's working over and over and over and over and over again. Start with 50, start with 100, start with 500, start with 1,000, start with 10,000, start with 100,000, start with a million, till you get that billion users or billion customers. So yeah, just prove the model and ensure it keeps working like a well-oiled machine. So yeah, that's kind of the goal. And also beyond that, yeah, I think I just mentioned it. How rapid scaling can eat cash flow. So basically, scaling also, which is also what investment is part of. I think I mentioned this slightly for week three. I think so. Where scaling, like rapid scaling, kind of eats cash flow before revenue arrives. So getting the revenue systemized is like the first thing before scaling, and then keeping operations lean while the inventory scales. So if you're in the product line, like I am, the inventory should scale first while the operations are lean. Operations are lean meaning that the operation still goes the way it is at the moment, but you're getting the inventory doubled up, doubled up, doubled up. So when you have a breakthrough in orders, you have a breakthrough in the demands, you have more than enough to supply. All right, you have more than enough to supply, and not just you scaling operations, and then you now get the customers, and then the inventory is scanty. There's going to be hurts. It's going to affect the cash flow. It's going to affect like basically the systems of the financial history of the business or the personal brand. So yeah, so that's basically what we're going to be um looking at. I'm just going to go through five things which I believe, like I mentioned, I learned from my mentor. So, how to time your investments and find the right investor. Because I think I learned recently, a few months ago, that finding an investor is not they are doing you a favor. You are both doing each other a favor. Yeah, it's almost clear. You're doing them a favor by giving them a part of your company. They're also doing you a favor by contributing. These are the things now. Before I thought it was just money. Sir Richard Appin made it clear that you should hire your investors just like how you hire your C level. Like, do your homework. Don't just collect money and then just say, all right, I have an investor. No, they should offer beyond money. They should offer support, the advisory support. They should offer, like, they should have experience in your sector. Basically, you should have experience because you are giving a part of your business away, what you built from scratch. You're giving a part of it away. So they should offer beyond just money, and that would also help with breakthrough. So, like I mentioned, number one, prove the model before you raise. So ensure that it has worked with 50, it has worked with 100, it has worked with 1,000, it has worked with 10,000, it has worked with a million, whatever range of scale you are right now. Ensure that it has worked before you now seek for support to even bring this solution to much larger people. So keep it small, keep the cost tight, and make it work first. Keep it small, keep the cost tight, and make it work first. So make it work, make the model work, let it run like a well-oiled machine, let the revenue flow first. So make it work before you start looking for investors, basically. So the next thing is to ask whether you need external investment at all. I think I was reading his newsletter recently. He said build with the customers. The customer should be your first investor. And how are customers your first investor? Through revenues. So let your first investment be revenues. Revenues from the profits, the overflow of profits. Like I think I was exposing some of the things some of the founders do, including myself, in for week four, which was the last stream where I was sharing on the manufacturing cost compared to the actual sales price. Yeah, the gap is far, but basically it's also worth it because a lot of creative time goes into it, packaging, delivery, logistics, and all of this. So yeah. So but I kind of expose some of things. So if you would love to watch it, it's just it's gonna be recommended once this stream is off. So you're just gonna see it pop up on your screen. So you could click on it and watch it. I think we discussed about pricing, psychology and all of that. So you could check that out after this live stream. So first check out whether investment is needed at all. That's like the first thing before you even start anything. The first thing is to check out if investment is even needed at all. Your first investors are your customer, basically. The customers are like the first investors that want to invest in your business really by serving them better, but also making the product very of high standard so they keep coming back. I think I also shared for week four the subscription. Yeah, I think I mentioned so. Yeah, subscription, not just one time buying, but creates a subscription around the product where they keep coming back. They keep coming back. Apple has beyond the product of the iPad, the iPhone, and the MacBook. There's a whole lot of subscription that comes with the apps. So something similar, even down to YouTube. If you want to have the premium access, this subscription, Zoom subscription. So basically, you must have seen all of these models are currently being adopted by all of these big brands. There's a whole lot of subscription out there, down to Netflix. Instead of just one time buying the product, that's kind of the model that has kind of worked over time. Having a subscription, having a service, basically having a service alongside with the product, having a service run with your product. I think I also kind of shared a little bit of the services we are looking forward to over the next couple of weeks at Bullish there. So just be on the lookout for that because we're going to be launching Bullish there access soon. It's gonna be interesting. We're gonna be launching Bullish there access soon. So just watch out for that. It's gonna be really, really beyond the products. We're creating something. Just expect it. Don't let me spoil it. All right. So yeah, like I was saying, number two, ask whether you need external investment at all. So once you know when you need funds, when you know what you need funds for, it's going to be very much easy for both of you. Like I mentioned, I learned recently that you should hire your investor like you would hire your C level because they should offer more than money. All right. So the decision is not to rush, is to take time and be deliberate over it. Like you really need funding right now. So if the your current investor, which are your customers, like through revenues, your current investors are not catching up with what you be like. I think I also mentioned keeping the operations lean while making the inventory scale. That should even be the goal for any brand out there. The goal is to if you're into the product right now, because I'm sharing from my experience, product is to keep the inventory scaling while just ensure that the operation is still lean before you now make both operations and inventory well balanced. So if the revenues are not doing it, I think the next option is a bank instead of an investor. The next option is a bank. It's more preferable to get debts from banks because they are good debts. So good debts from banks also helps instead of just getting an investor because the most crucial part of an investor is you are giving a certain percentage of your company equity. That's even the most crucial because your company could become could get valuated of over 5 billion US dollar next decade, over the next 2 decades. It could become valuated at 20 billion, could become valued at 30 billion, and that equity that they got at a very cheap rate, maybe 250K for 30%, or oh yeah, 250 for 30%, or maybe like 150 for 20%, they would have made times 100 of it in a decade or in 2 decades. So be very careful, including myself, on investors. So our first investor is our customer. If that's not cutting it, then we go for bank instead of just going right straight for investor. All right. So the next one is raising from strength, not desperation. All right. So raising from strength is that you've proven it is working, but yes, I identify that we can still take it to the next level. So you prove from, like, you raise from strength, not desperation. Not that when things are falling off, that's when you're now looking for funds to save it. No, like I think I mentioned earlier, investment just amplifies what is going on. If things are going on right, investment amplifies it. If things are not going on right, investments amplifies it. So it either increases the money being wasted or increases the money being invested. So wait until the model is proven and profitable, and you give away a fraction of the equity for a multiple of the valuation. All right. So if you want to build a deal, like talk yourself into a deal with an investor, ensure you are raising from strength. You're raising from strength, not that you're very desperate to get it. They are going to be on the should I say profitable end. They're going to be on the much beneficial end, whosoever it is you're reaching out to be your investor. All right. So I think I also mentioned this: value the non-cash contribution above the check. So it's also very, very important. Ensuring that non-cash, what else beyond this check are you contributing? Like, are you providing advisory support? Are you providing connections or network? Like, am I leveraging on your network? Am I leveraging on your connections to make this business work beyond the check you're giving? So yeah, these are all of the things that need to be checked out for when seeking for investors. All right. So beyond that, I would also love to add that do your own diligence, because they would also, because I think it was also in one of the newsletter. If everything is all cool until there's a legal representative involved, and you know what that means. Once a legal representative is involved, it's no longer joking something. So you could lose your business, you could lose your company, your baby, whatever it is you've called your company as. You can lose it by getting the wrong investor on board. So do your own diligence also by ensuring that you choose, just like how you select everyday employee, you'd also select your investors. So basically choosing from, or should I say reaching out from a place of strength, would give all of this liberty to um, have all of this in place. So stay close to the details. Don't just hand it off and scale, because when legal representative gets involved, it's no longer a friendship thing. It's now business. That's when you know that your investor are business partners, not just friends or this thing. Because when it gets very serious, you both sides will feel it, that it's serious. So getting an investor is very easy. A lot of people want to double their money through companies, and a lot of founders also need money to make things global, or should I say, yeah. And sometimes instead of making things work in the model and like scaling the model, they are proving concepts. I think that's why most founder kind of burn a whole lot of cash, like trying to prove concept. You're trying to prove. I think that was on week two. I think we talked about this in week two. Test the idea before spending anything. Yeah, I think that was week two. So you could check stream two, day two live. You just check it, and you see I mentioned a bit on that. So ensuring that it's working is like the whole summary of all of these things. Just ensure that things are going on well before any investor can even be considered. Ensure that your revenue is is there even before anything is considered. All right, so doing your homework, getting things together with your investor. Yeah, definitely. If investor are definitely needed, you could go for it. But if they are not, like I mentioned, customers are the first investors, and ensure that you make the most out of the revenue. If not, bank is like the easiest option to get things sorted out. And you won't dare to go for bank if your model is not currently being proved. So it's also similar with investor. Don't go for investor if you're not currently proving the model. All right. Um, so over this past, because I'm leveraging on both the building experience. So just give me a moment, please. All right, because I'm building on the experience of my mentor. He has about 30 years of building and investing in business, and I currently have about 4, 5. There are about 3, 4, 5 years of building and investing. Even though ours has been more of social impact, coupled up with for profit, but it's still we're still on that journey. So I'm leveraging on both the 30 years of my mentor, building and investing in business. And one thing I've learned in summary concerning this topic, concerning this subject, is very simple. The founders who prove the model before they raise, who understand what phase the business is at the moment, like they understand, all right, this is what we need. We don't need this. This is what we have. We don't have this yet. The founder understands every detail about the business, who understands every phase of the business financially, who understands the demand that the business needs to take it to the next level, and chooses the investor for what they bring beyond money. We build something transgenerational. Now, outlast them. I think I was also mentioning for live stream two, or one, that the entire purpose of us building beyond limits is to build things that would be sustainable, that would stand the future AI and all of this fast approaching and just sweeping everybody. That would stand all of this. Basically, I believe we're going to talk about a live stream on integration of technology and all of that. So we have definitely the founders that go beyond the money that the investors can give, definitely do well in the journey of business, and also not to raise out of desperation but out of strength, spend the money building infrastructure before model works. That's a huge trouble. That's a huge trouble because you're going to waste the money. So ensure that what the money is backing is what is already working. All right, the backing is working. The working is backing. All right. And treat the check as a proof of concept. Those are like I think I was mentioning this earlier, that most founders are trying to prove concept instead of scaling what is already working. If you're trying to prove concept, you keep proving concept. Well, I think I also mentioned this during live stream too, that uh, the best people to build your business for you are the customers through feedbacks. I think I mentioned that, which also we are currently doing at Bullish there. Once you're done getting the product, or if by any chance you get to be a part, experience our services, we want to hear from you. What did we do good? What did we not do good? Because some of these people also, they are testing out what's it called, your other competitors, and they have experience with various experiences, so they can tell you what is really working and what is not working and where you need to brush up on. So basically, like the best investors, like first ever investors, are your customers, because they are giving you money to buy your products, and you get profit from there, and you can also get advice. So make it work with them first before looking for actual investor. So yeah, I believe we've been able to cover most of the things we intended. But yeah, I just want to, just like I mentioned, this is not going to be too nerdy. I don't want it to become like that. I want it to be chill. I want it to like have fun and all of that. So if there are any more questions in the chat, Chat is currently live. So don't forget to subscribe. Just subscribe. It's just right there. It's just free of charge. Just click that button and click the like. The like button just helps it reach more people. So click the like button and just click the subscribe button. Subscribe. I wanted to sing a Fish Drug song, but I don't want get this to get copyrighted. I just put up in a lemon. Subscribe. All right, yeah. Finally, I would say um this is now like a general discussion prompt. I would say if someone offered you about, I think I mentioned 100k, so let's use 100k or 150 USD. If someone offered you 150,000 US dollar today, I think we need to answer this question. What exact department or asset would you put that into? All right. So if someone is willing, also, if someone is willing to what's it called? If someone is willing to support you regardless, whatever stage you are, yeah. Also, first do your homework. That's like the first thing. Where if the person is very trustworthy and they've backed multiple businesses and then they still want to really help your business, I think you could consider it, but ensure that your model is working. So if your model is not working, then you could take the money and then invest it in other things. You can invest it in the real estate or all of these other things. So when your business model has been proven, then you can now get the funds from those investments and then back. So instead of just canceling investments from should I say funds from investors, you could also like it's I think on this scenario is based on your current stand as a person and your current stand as a business. So if you could do not 6 7, but if you could do things simultaneously, if you could build things simultaneously, if you could make it work concurrently at the same time, making it work on your business and also getting these extra funds invested in other things. Voila, you've gotten a very perfect way to get things done. All right, I think this is the final. I'm going to be asking this question to us now. I'm just going to type it in the chat. All right. Let me just type this in chat. And like I mentioned, I'm looking forward to making this a daily thing now. So we could get things rolling at a much faster rate. I think I promised this during week 2 or week 3, but still I still went on a break. So this time around we're gonna make it happen. Hopefully every day, 7 p.m. PDT, we're here for life. And we just for a couple of moments we just kind of rub ideas together, answer questions. I ask you questions also, basically, and then I'll read out your questions and I'll also read out your answers. And then you also ask me a question. And then I'll see to the best of my knowledge how I can answer them. All right. So I think finally we're just going to move over this. What is your biggest fear when it comes to taking on external capital or debt for growth? Like I mentioned, it depends on where the funds is coming from. If it's coming from bank, you must have ensured you've proven it with your first investors, which is the customers. Must have proved it with your customers. You must have proved it with your customers. And then if it's coming from what's it called? Investors, ensure that things are really working. You're not getting investment out of desperation. You're raising from strength. They are offering beyond the check. They are offering beyond the check, and they are offering advisory support. You're leveraging on their network. You're also leveraging on their referrals, basically, on because they must have built something similar to what you're building, and then they are ready to help you do well in that sphere. So you must ensure that they are contributing beyond check. You're raising from strength, and you know what you need the money for. So basically, because Investment just amplifies what's already going on. That skills your business, or it exposes the amount of money that just goes in buying unnecessary stuff. So yeah, basically, I hope we've been able to have a very meaningful day five. Like I mentioned, five more streams left for this series, and like I mentioned, as they have some things coming up for other streams. So yeah, hopefully we get things done. Concurrently, we get amazing stuff done simultaneously. And without further ado, yeah, thank you very much. It's been Olamide Walai, and I believe you're all in the chat. Or if you're listening to the recording, just drop in your name or your email address in the comment section, and I'd love to connect and add you to the newsletter because I also have my own personal newsletter called Building Beyond Limits. Right, I think right now it's about to go live in few minutes. It's going to go live on LinkedIn, so you could also check it out. I think I shared my LinkedIn profile for live stream 4, so you could check it out. My own newsletter. I also just basically just share some of my ideas. But without further ado, it's been I ain't gonna say could I say. If you don't understand what I said, I was just speaking in tongues. Without further ado, see you on the next stream, and peace. See you. Bye bye.